Hello and welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. I'm Kalder and Simeon, host of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 513. We're going to be talking about Scott Porter's Deadpool Weapon X unboxing, as well as the Heroclix for Huntington's live stream that showed off quite a few cool new Heroclix figures this last Saturday. This is episode 513. Howdy, let's get rowdy.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional
Heroclix
help.
I have the high ground.
Oh yeah, you have the high ground.
It's over, Simeon.
Yeah.
Instant deadpan humor.
Over six people think I am funny.
I'm your Captain America.
That was just you in a costume.
You absolute fool.
Simeon will be able to edit that out.
That's cool because it's expensive.
I'm gonna make Heroclix like that for everyone.
Are you kidding? Wow. Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Make sure you check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Use code DIAL5, DIAL5, for 5% off your Cool Stuff Inc. order. And if you want to go to shop.whizkids.com, you can use code DIALH10, DIALH, like H as in Henry, 10, for 10% off your Heroclix order. Only Heroclix, only in-stock items, no pre-release, no special bundles, nothing like that, no pre-orders, just kind of normal, random stuff. Go ahead, shop.whizkids.com. Joining me like always in the studio is Simeon Bruce. What's going on, Simeon?
Oh, finally broke into the 80s this week.
Oh, yeah, it's warm.
We're out of winter officially. We didn't take like the half step to like some nice 60-degree days. No. Straight to heat.
Just getting right to it. Just getting right into the thick of the heat. What made you happy this last week, my man?
This last week, what made me happy was, I believe it was Thursday, but I celebrated on Sunday, so yesterday as of this recording. It was Milo's 4th year of Gotcha. 4 years ago, I don't know if you track the trend of shelter dogs and how many got adopted around 4 years ago, but yes, it's been 4 years with him. He's grown a lot in both physical ways and his like training and stuff. So he's a great dog. I couldn't ask for a better friend. And yeah, we spent the day hanging out, doing some fun stuff, and then I made him a nice dinner. And so, yeah, it's always nice to celebrate the dogs. I only have the one, but I think it's baked for my sister's dog, I guess. So
hey, there you go.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. Milo's always super nice, fun. He's got his fun little likes playing tug and all that cool stuff, tug of war and whatnot. So that's pretty cool. What was the specialty doggy dinner?
Ooh, it was steak and quinoa.
Ooh,
So threw a little egg in there too, because
very nice.
Apparently it's good for him.
Dogs be loving some eggs. We're right on. Little 4-year anniversary. Pretty cool. The thing that made me happiest last week, I took a trip with my older brother and my little brother, went out to the hills, hung out for a bit, but the part I would like to focus on is I finally went and relearned this card game that I had owned for a really long time called Weiss Schwarz. It's a Japanese card game with a German name that uses fleur-de-lis, which is a French symbol. It's a really cool card game. Don't really know if it fully understands what it is, but it's a Japanese card game. It's a ton of fun. It's a collectible card game, and it just has so many different anime properties in it, as well as some American anime-like properties, like Avatar: The Last Airbender and Ruby are also in this. I picked up some of these Weiss Schwarz cards back in Gen Con last year, and finally convinced my little brother to play them with me, and we just played a ton of rounds of Ruby versus Gurren Lagann Weiss Schwarz, and then I think, got a new addiction basically to it, and I'll probably be like seeing if anyone around here plays. I doubt it. Maybe we'll have to see, but it's a pretty dang fun card game, and I really enjoyed doing. I don't know, just kind of getting into it. They're like, oh wow, a card game that's about a property I like. Whoa, no way, So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
And then mini shout out to the Heroclix Syndicate. What's that, you may ask, listener? Well, that is a new Heroclix podcast that just started up right now. Their first episode is on YouTube.
I haven't
Check out
listened,
the Heroclix
I'm
Syndicate.
excited.
It's a good episode, Simeon. It's a good episode.
Okay.
So these
I'm
guys
very
are
excited,
they're locals from South Dakota. They come down to Nebraska for all the big Nebraska tournaments. We see them at Worlds. They are they kind of run wild in our Discord. They're just real fun. At the last IPF event this last Saturday, or 2 Saturdays ago, I guess I should say, they made T-shirts of Ian, which were hilarious. If you've seen those on our Facebook, go check those out. But it's all those kids made this podcast, so it's really cool. It kind of stemmed from a long time joke, and I'm just happy that they're like making their own content, having fun, and just enjoying it, because it was a good listen, and I look forward to seeing more content from these guys. It was really cool.
Yeah, they've always been funny. Like, I think they are not just one of the best parts of our community, but one of the best parts of the Heroclix community. If anyone's
Absolutely.
ever interacted with them online or whatever, they're a bit pranksters, but
Just a little, just a little.
hilarious.
So just remember this is where they started. So when Tristan's signing autographs on the car card here in the future, when it gets made after he wins Worlds, let's see. But yeah, go check that out there, guys. We're going to jump into the news. Very heavy Scott Porter news week, ladies and gentlemen. On Wednesday at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we got our first Scott Porter unboxing of Deadpool Weapon X, or Deadpool and Wolverine if you're Scott Porter. It kind of came out of nowhere, kind of very weird. We weren't totally expecting a Scott Porter unboxing, and then at a time that it's never been at, it struck. I kind of assumed the Deadpool Weapon X unboxing would have been the same as last year's A60 unboxing, where he opens it week of Huntington's. But instead, this is a good 2-3 weeks before Heroclix for Huntington's in the first weekend of May. So, Simeon, you're the bigger X-Men, Wolverine, Deadpool fan than I am. Is there anything you want to talk about in this set? Or I guess what are your kind of actually first thoughts, opinions, feelings just about Deadpool Weapon X in general here?
Well, I think we knew there was going to be a ton of Wolverines in it, and maybe a ton of Deadpools. But, this... so far, a lot of James Howlett's, a lot of Wolverines, whatever name he may be going by. Got multiple Deadpools that somehow we haven't gotten before, which I think we already knew about Mimepool.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of the earlier ones that we had seen. But no, also, feels really refreshing to see some of the X-Men, because the revitalized X-Men 97 show that's coming out. It's on episode 5 or 6 right now.
You've seen the latest episode, I trust, right?
I
Simeon?
have not.
Oh,
Yeah, I've heard that it's very good. And I should be
Simeon.
watching.
It's so good. Even as someone who's like, yeah, sure, the X-Men, whatever. Wow, it's so good. But
Yeah,
keep going. I won't stop you.
I mean, I've watched a few episodes and
Okay.
I've seen a few clips, but yeah, no, it's just cool getting Long Shot. Obviously, we saw the Gambit. He was previewed a little bit earlier. That wacky, crazy dial Magneto, and by crazy dial I mean he's stout Magneto. New Lady Deathstrike and stuff like that. But what I'm actually most excited for in this set, and I'll go in reverse order. So I'll go from the lower rarity that I'm excited for and then up.
Okay.
But we have a sub-theme, it appears, that is Hot Shots. And this is a one-off comic it's not a one-off, I guess. It was a short series comic. I think it's 5 or 6 issues. Scott went into it a little bit too. So, and you know what? Bless up that man is willing to go into detail about comics, because that's, So I'll also go into detail about it. No, it's a great short run issue. If you have Marvel Unlimited, I believe it's on there. If not, then you can probably pick it up online or at a local library pretty easily. But it's a very short, fun series, and yeah, I think it's got. Let's see. I'll go through
5-issue miniseries.
I think so. I think it's 5 or 6. I can't remember, but
I'll have to check it out. It's got my girl Diamondback.
yeah, it's got
I
Black Widow.
I love Diamondback. So
Diamondback, and they've been on teams before. So Black Widow, Diamondback, obviously geez, what's her name? Amino. Gosh, that was
The really, she's, pretty
the
no-name,
one that's
unknown
kind of the leader
character.
of the group. So yeah, Black Widow, Diamondback, Domino. They have 2 new characters I think were introduced, or at least to the team for this series, and White Fox was one of them. She's kind of in/out. Outlaw was one of the recurring ones of the team, and Hotshots was the name of the comic, not really the team. I don't remember the name of the team itself. I think it's been a recurring team from time to time.
Domino and the Dominoes.
Yeah, I think
Name
that's
of
what
this
it was
team?
called. And then Atlas Bear was a new character, and that's who I'm going to talk about first.
Okay.
So Atlas Bear is got a really interesting backstory. She's what do you call it? She's on the lam. She's removed from Wakanda.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to go back. Excommunicated, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
But she has Wakanda, Assassin, Mystical, and Soldier keywords. She's number 038 in the set. She's a rare. And they all have a trait that says Hot Shots something so far that we've seen. Atlas Bear's is probably the most impressive one, I think. So hers is the last Atlas Bear. When Atlas Bear hits, after resolutions, give her a Hot Shots token. Friendly characters with a Hot Shots trait have, when this character would be KO'd, if they have any Hot Shots tokens, instead remove all their Hot Shot tokens and turn them to their last non-KO click. Protected Pulse Wave, Protected Pulse Wave. So, yeah, they get that whole trait that is Protected Pulse Wave, and then her trait is Protected Pulse Wave. So, yeah, it's not quite as good as a Living Legend, but it does give all the entire team a little bit of staying power, and most of them get Hot Shot tokens by hitting, so as long as they're actively hitting each turn, then they have Hot Shot tokens where they can potentially survive the next turn. She then has 2 starting lines, one at 70 and one at 50, and on both of those starting lines she has a speed power that is Wakandan Transportation, Sidestep, Flight, Passenger 5, but only to carry characters that share a keyword with Atlas Bear. And I'm assuming they all have Assassin. I didn't look at...
I would hope so. But either way,
yeah,
Mystical and Soldier getting just a massive bus as Atlas Bear, that is kind of gnarly. As a big fan of the Soldier keyword, having a Passenger 5 piece, that rocks.
With Sidestep, it's not super fast. She's got a 7 speed at 70 points, or on her 50 point line it's 6 speed, but it's Sidestep on both of them.
Yeah.
So almost reaching Green Lantern territory of passenger ability. And then finally, her whole dial, she has Vibranium Meteor Hammer, which gives her giant reach of 3, Blades, Claws, Fangs, and probability control, which I think this is the first time in a while we've seen prob on an attack power, but
yeah,
it's very cool. And then her whole dial, she has Outwit, so yeah, she can Blades. She's 3 damage on click 1 and on her last click, which is click 6. And then if you start her on click 3, she's 2 damage, everything in between, but she has Blades. Basically her whole dial. I mean, it is her whole dial. Yeah. So, yeah, she goes from the Sidestep Passenger ability to a Charge Combat Reflexes. And then when she is in Wakandan Transport mode, she has Energy Shield Deflection. So it's a very economical piece. And also, when Manifold and some of the other taxis rotate out of Pulp, she'll still be modern for a little bit. So I think she'll stick around in some capacity. I think 50 points is a pretty good economical range.
Yeah, I think it's pretty dang good. She's kind of nuts. I like it a lot. In sealed, pulling a 5-person carry in sealed, especially one that can sidestep, so you can actually carry 1, 2, pretty much all 5 people. I'm not gonna figure it out in my head, but I think if you sidestep 2 squares carrying 2 people, you have 1, 2 to 2 more adjacent people, and then move 7 or move 6. You'll be able to carry all 5 by yourself without having them on a small map. So that's pretty dang gnarly. It's pretty fun. I like it. She has great keywords. Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be sick.
Yeah, and the sculpt was super cool. It's got the twirling, spinning
whole thing. Yeah,
meteor hammer, kind of like how Thor, when he's twirling his hammer, it's doing one of those. Or Ghost Rider, I guess,
spinning around like Ghost Rider's chain. Yeah, just spinning. The common I'll talk about, I guess the lowest rarity piece that I really like and want to talk about is going to be this Iceman, who upon first seeing him, I was like, this is a guy. This is just a dude. So I don't know. This kind of, for how civilian it looks, maybe gets somehow is one of the most unique Iceman sculpts ever, because it's just Bobby Drake in like a sweater and pants, and he's licking a vanilla ice cream cone, and his trait. And I just love how, ironically, vanilla, how flavorful this figure is. He goes, vanilla, the finest of flavors is the name of his trait. Unique modifier, other friendly characters that can't use special powers modify attack +1. So if they have traits, it's totally fine. They don't have to be like totally vanilla. But if they have no special powers that can't use special powers, they modify their attack value +1. He's 30 points. He's 5 range, triple targets with some in cap. He's got some enhancement, so he's really giving you a +1 attack and damage for range anyways, which is really cool. He's got some ESD, and then he's 4 clicks long, and then he goes on a sidestep pulse wave regen support on his last 2 clicks. Just hilarious. Defenders, X-Men, just adds Iceman. Champions, Defenders, Marauders, X-Factor, X-Men. Kind of funny that we now have 2 Icemen in Modern here, or at least will soon be 2 Icemen in Modern, that are just very focused on building a team with very specific parameters. Both the con-exclusive Adepticon Iceman and then this one are very big, team-building style Icemen. So I think this is hilarious. I like figures that are, like, you specifically need to build around this piece to build the team. I think that's really fun. I think team building in Heroclix is one of the most fun things that you do in Heroclix, so love it. Love this Iceman.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a ton of fun, for sure. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the non-prime Domino. So this is out of the 2, this is the one that is actually like also a hotshot version, I guess. So she has 6-pack. That's the name of it? No.
Are they the 6-pack in comics? There's no way. They don't all have 6-pack keyword, right?
No.
That's just a different team.
And
it's also...
Yeah, the team that like she was on with Outlaw and Black Widow is like just the 3 of them usually. So it's not 6-pack. I don't... But yeah, anyhow. 6-pack, X-Force, X-Men, Assassin, Marksman, Soldier, and Spy keywords. Loaded up on keywords. She has the X-Men team ability, 053A in the set. She has the Hotshots Fearless Leader trait. Gives her leadership. When Domino uses it and succeeds, after resolutions, choose up to 2 friendly characters with a Hotshots trait, and they each give themselves a Hotshots token. So she can be one of them. And then friendly characters with a Hotshots trait have, when this character would roll a single d6, they may remove a Hotshots token to roll the Domino die instead of a standard d6. The Domino die is a 1, 2, 5, 6, 6, and 6. So...
Actually, Simeon, those are just symbols. I don't know what symbols mean. I've never
that those are
seen what
sixes.
symbols are.
Obviously, they're not going to make those like a 4 numerical order. It's 1, 2, 5, and then the only thing maybe it's a 12. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, there you go.
It's a D6 with
That
3
rolls
12s on 3 of the sides.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that they're 6s. I understand why people need a clarification, but come on, people.
Yeah, but it's gives you, in most circumstances, rolling this dice would give you a 2/3 chance of succeeding most rolls, not like a breakaway necessarily, but like super senses, like a normal super senses, leadership, willpower, anything like that. And it just, if they already have the Hotshots trait, then they can remove a token to roll this instead, which is very good for 50 points.
I think it might be, one of the best of Hotshots effects that we've seen on a few of these Hotshot girls. Like, this is really good.
And we were talking before the show, one of the things I really like about it is she can remove... so when she succeeds on leadership, she can give herself one of these, like a Hotshot token. And then next turn when she rolls for leadership, she can just remove a Hotshot token to not necessarily guarantee it, but... have a 2/3 chance at rolling leadership and giving herself another one. So once you start rolling with her, you can kind of just have like a perpetual hotshot token generation thing. Rest of her dial, she has a full dial of stealth. She has 1 click of steel energy on her last click. She has a full dial of a special defense power that is just lucky, I guess. Super senses, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. So doesn't even really need her special die for that, but I mean, it is
really
better
strong.
odds, I guess. I mean, it's
yeah,
just slightly.
it is slightly better odds. That's true.
And then she has a special damage power her entire dial that is stacking the deck. Probability control. When Domino makes a ranged attack, one of the d6s rolled may be her Domino die instead of a standard d6, which is very good. Like,
Yeah.
She's got no move and attack, but you can motorcycle her. She has 5 range, 1 lightning bolt, and I think the ability to have a 50-50 of having a 6 on one of your die and then also having prob with that seems pretty good. I don't know. I really like her. I think like it's the only sad thing is you can't run hot shots in like a pulp format with her. You
Right.
can use the other ones that we've seen, but this Domino really enables that like team to do a lot, and I think the team would have been better in a pulp format. But no, 12 attack, top dial, 3 damage for her first 3 clicks goes down to 2. No attack power except for her last click, so it's just that special prob and that super senses that's a 50-50, and then her big trait that enables the hot shots. So I like it. I think her combined with Atlas Bear, that's 100 points, and at least if you're running just those two, then at least they're not getting KO'd very easily if you can give them both hotshot tokens and keep giving them.
Yeah, no kidding. So that's shaping up to be really cool. I like this Domino a lot. Did she end up not coming with her die? I think that was one of the oopsies, or was it long shot? I think it was her or long shot wasn't.
I don't remember
die.
which day that was.
So it's like a kind of a fingers crossed thing. Scott got like an early brick, and we get some problems worked out here, but the die looks cool. I'm in favor of getting more flavorful dice. Ironically, very, very specifically tailored to them. Unlike like the Gambit dice, I think you can be like, yeah, sure, this will be what the numbers are. But Domino is like, yeah, I can't use this anywhere else. Very, very specific, which is fun, flavorful in its own way, which is cool. The figure I'm going to talk about, I won't lie, this isn't a figure I necessarily like. I think it's one that just kind of needs to be talked about, and that is Timebreaker. Little dude is kind of wild. He's a silly little beetle bug guy raising his hand up like he's got a question in the classroom. Timebreaker has Exiles, Cosmic, Future, and Past keywords. Once again, that Past keyword has just been getting better as of late. Past is seriously quickly becoming from a keyword that I was like, when would I ever pay a Past team? And now I'm like, dang, Past has some stout stuff in it, and I actually think it'd be really fun to play a Past team. So he's got 2 traits. Really quickly, the dial. This figure's 5 points. It has 1 click of life, 0 range. It is autonomous. We have not seen autonomous printed on a standard character, aka like not a bystander. I think since SVAC, since since Spider-Man and Venom Absolute Carnage, I don't think we've seen autonomous printed on a normal base figure. He is also tiny, so this is really crazy cool. 0 attack, 0 damage, 5 speed sidestep, 16 defense, toughness. So all you're really doing with him is moving him with autonomous. He's not making attack. He's nothing nuts. He's not Mary Jane. He's nothing like that. So what are his traits? So glad you asked. First trait, free. If another friendly character has not activated this same effect this turn, you generate a 0/16 Timebreaker on click 1. So he basically just has free, make another one of him. But it's only once per turn for all these guys. So, okay, cool. So turn 1, you get to make 2. Why do I even want that many Timebreakers? Great. So glad you asked that question. Second trait, Pano Pitocron Excursion Platform. That I'm going to go with that. Yeah, Panopticron Excursion Platform, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Power action. So beautiful little autonomous power action here. Choose an adjacent character. Place that character up to X squares away from their current square, where X is the number of 0/16 and 0/16 Timebreakers and B 0/05 Timebreakers that are adjacent to that character. So this is upwards of placing this character 8 squares away, so half the map. Pretty good. Yeah, pretty gnarly. Upwards of 8, so you'd already have to be in square number 2 in order to do this, so blah, 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 blah. You can play as many Timebreakers as you want, starting force.
Right.
So, they're not...
But even if you just play one, turn
free,
1,
yeah.
you get a second one.
Yep.
Turn 2, you would get a third one, and then you can take multiple, like sidestepping and taking multiple autonomous power actions is a way to, definitely mobilize some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, for 35 points, that's 7. Instantly get one more, and then boom, that's 8 squares just moving. So I don't know. These guys seem really freaking nuts. I'm gonna be curious who makes them. And yeah, I get it. They're 5 points and blah blah blah. One pulse wave kills a bunch of time breakers. But to be able to get an alpha off just like that, that's pretty dang good. I mean, turning anybody into like Prime Spider-Man, just being able to move that far right away. All this is autonomous. They've got these nice little side steps to be able to get adjacent to the character. Pretty dang gnarly. I mean, at the very least, let's say it's like it is turn like 1 or turn 2, and that character that you're targeting doesn't have sidestep, and you don't want to move them 1 square. They can at least power action to make this guy move 5 squares. Pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Thankfully, they can't really chain carry. It'd be kind of wild if they could chain carry and then just. I guess they can't. Yeah, because then they'd have one carried version would have to do a power action. So I was thinking like, oh, you could chain carry and then move them again. You really can't.
I mean, you could.
I guess you could do it very shortly for sidestep. Power, move them 3,
right?
Then sidestep again, and then power, move them however many you could get off. So there is potential to move them a lot further, but. Yeah, So actually, 8. Why power action move 8 when you can just sidestep these guys up? First power action, move them 3. Second power action, get all the little sidestep buggers adjacent to you. So like an 11 square reach, roughly. My math might not be totally correct on that, but Timebreaker's just nuts. The dude is just nuts.
Yeah. This
is like an instant get as many as you can. I am going to be very curious to see what his value is as a common. Probably the most sought after generic in a very long time. Like, I think everybody's going to want 8 of this guy. You know?
Yeah.
3, 4 minimum?
To, like the tribbles and stuff. They're like, because you can just free generate. There's no reason not to like have like a bucket full. Like Unless whoever makes the bystander, so bystander 005 means there's at least 5 bystanders in the set, which is really cool. Unless whoever makes the bystander is also very cheap and makes them very easily, then I just feel like you need to get a bunch of time breakers. This little guy is just kind of nuts. And I don't know if I like that, but he's nuts. So we're going to be in Alpha Strike City here on small maps, big maps, whatever, because Timebreaker just shoots you across the map. Wild. Yeah. But he makes a lot of good characters a lot better. First thing that comes to mind, of course, is Pegasus Captain America. He can't be TK'd. He has very hard time getting him to move very fast, getting him to go further than his little 8 squares that he has hypersonic speed for. People have paid 50 points for Falcon, who, if you say, oh, Timebreakers just die. Well, Falcon also just kind of dies, and he's 50 points versus like the 35-point investment you would need for Timebreaker, who could not only power action one Captain America up 8 squares and then have him hypersonic, but then sidestep over to the next Captain America. And actually, you could technically put even more adjacent to Captain America because he's a double base, which is wild. So I think these Timebreakers are just like instantly meta, and holy smokes, they have great keywords. And by great, I mean they at least have past. And I think I'm just in love with the past keyword. But I'll be done with Timebreakers now. But they're nuts. They're just nutty little dudes. Yeah, for sure. All right. Last figure I'm going to talk about from this set for now is... Oh, that's right. It's 053B. So you just heard me talk about Domino. Big thing about the Prime Domino. She has Power Cosmic and X-Men team ability. Same keywords, I think. 6-pack, X-Force, Assassin, Cosmic Deity, Soldier, Spy. She doesn't have Marksman, so she drops Marksman and gets Cosmic, I guess.
I see.
Otherwise, I think they're mostly the same. She does not have a Hot Shots trait. She has activating the Creation Constellation. And this is a sideline active. When a friendly 053A Domino would be KO'd, you may instead replace her with Domino on click 5. Click 5 is Running Shot with a 11 attack, 3 damage, 17 defense. And I'll get into her full dial before I guess I go into that. Just keep that in mind. If you have both these dominoes, the first one is kind of hard to kill, and then you'll get this one for free from the sideline if you want. So for 70 points, she has one starting line, and it is 5 clicks long. So on click 1, she has running shot. Well, it's running shot or whole dial. Running shot, precision strike, 18 defense with super senses, just normal super senses, and then a special damage power that is walking cold streak. When an opposing character within range would roll a single d6, Domino may roll a d6. If she does, she may replace the opposing character's roll with hers. So this can go for super senses, blades, leadership. She has 5 range, so this just goes with anything that would be a single d6 roll. She gets to roll one, and if you like your result better, then you replace the opposing character's roll. Kind of like a Faust situation. You're not dealing damage. You're not saying no, you can't use it, but you're potentially making them fail super senses or shape change or breakaway or
right. I don't know. It seems a little more fair than just a no, you don't get to. It's at least there's some chance.
And it also it doesn't say like this isn't attached to prob or like it's not a free or anything. It doesn't say once per turn. It just says when an opposing character within range would roll a single d6. So you can just continually do this. It's pretty decent. She has that power, her whole dial, and then click 2, same exact stats, same exact powers. Then on click 3, she hits a stop click that is stop super senses, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. So she gets the same super senses, but with a protected pulse wave and outwit from the stop. She's already protected outwit from cosmic energy, I guess. But so click 3, she hits her first stop click, and then she has the exact same powers from click 3 to 4 to 5. So 3 stop clicks in a row, has that special damage power that is like more of like a shutdown thing than like a prob. And then she has Penetrating Psychic Blast. This is called Celestial Shot. Penetrating Psychic Blast, when Domino hits after resolutions, roll a d6. On a 1 through 3, give each hit character an action token. She has 2 lightning bolts, for the record. 5 range, 2 lightning bolts. On a 4 through 5, deal each hit character 1 unavoidable damage, which is kind of gnarly. And then on a 6, make an attack targeting a character Domino hit this turn, which is super fun because you could potentially... it'd be very rough. It'd be very hard to actually pull it off, but you could potentially target 2 people. Like, let's say running shot, target 2 people, hit both, roll a 6, and then target one person that you hit, and then another one, and then you could keep doing that until you essentially hit a whole team. But you would have to be rolling back-to-back 6s, and she does not have any special re-roll a d6 kind of thing like the other Domino does. But that's her special attack power. On click 3, she's a 13 for 4 with a 19 defense.
Real casual 13 for 4. She in the comic, there's this thing they're trying to track down that's called the Creation Constellation. It's like some sort of celestial, I don't want to say virus, but it's kind of like infects you like a virus, and she gets a hold of it in like a fight at one point, and it turns into like giant version of Domino that has essentially like Galactus-sized laser gun thing. It's a very cool panel that she does this with. But so first stop click on click 3, then on click 4 she's a 12 for 3, and then on click 5 she is an 11 for 3, but all the same powers and the same trait. So if she comes in on click 5, pretty solid way to come in if the other Domino were to get KO'd, or if they somehow get through, like they outwit the other Domino, then suddenly they have to deal with that 50-50 super senses, except it's protected pulse wave and cosmic energy. So I think she's really good. I think she's really fun. She'll be like crazy tough to take down in sealed, I feel like, and she'll just be kind of a beast. Like, it's gonna be one of those characters where you like just ignore her.
You don't get her to click 3, because that's gonna be a rough. It's gonna be rough if she keeps hitting super senses. I should say you could always like poison or maybe knockback or something. I guess there's a few ways around it, but
probably the best way is like knockback, precision strike, you never get outwit though. She's cosmic energy the whole time. It's not even like she picks it up once she hits the stop. She just always is cosmic energy on this. So it's, yeah, I think you just have to ignore her and sealed and not, because Celestial Shot's too good to let her sit at a 13 for 4, shoot you again, or deal you an unavoidable. Just yikes.
Yeah, that's no bueno in the the Heroclix world. That's not something you want.
Moving over, I'm about to talk about a legacy figure, and I guess we should, quickly talk about the legacy picks for this set. I think we have all of them. Scott did something a little different this go-round, where he went over one legacy figure each day, except for one day, and then he spoiled 2 figures that were going to be legacy. So he said, here's this person, let's talk about them, and then here's this other person, but I don't have their card. You'll just have to speculate. So the legacies were, there's only one in HC units, but I'm going to try to remember. It was Hitmonkey, it was Hellcow, it was Weapon X Wolverine from Captain America, the Giant Krakoa, Deadpool and Bob, and then who else? Shikla, and then Phantom X?
Shikla, Phantom X. Did you say Tiamat?
Oh, yeah, I missed Tiamat. Okay, so Tiamat. Tiamat.
I'm just going off of what someone has posted on
for trade
on Facebook, right now, and it Professor X and Magneto is.
Oh, that's right, Professor X and Magneto.
Okay,
I think that's most of them, almost all of them. To most of them,
Mystique. But Days
yes,
of Future
there is
Past
Mystique. Days of Future Past Mystique. Oh goodness gracious.
Okay, I'm assuming that because they're all together on this post, I'm assuming that those are all ones that he listed. I know I was looking through them, but I don't have like them written down. I was relying on someone else to post them, and I can't find out where I tagged that now. But yeah, a fairly good list of legacies.
I really like it. So I guess the first thing that stands out, not a big fan of like the choice for like Mystique or Krakoa, mostly because I didn't really care for that Krakoa when he first came out, and then that Mystique, I feel like if you're going to legacy a Mystique, the one from Uncanny X-Men is the one that has a legacy, in my mind. The one that could not be targeted at all, and then she could move up and force blast you. That was like a meta piece. So the Days of Future Fast one just feels like an odd pick. I mean, plus 1 million points. Awesome choices being Deadpool and Bob. Awesome choice being Tiamat. If you played in 2014, goodness gracious, 10 years ago when the original Deadpool set came out, he was a beast. He was awesome. That's one of like, this might have been one of the sets that had like the most figures I owned for Legacy besides like Avengers Forever. Because man, I still had that Tiamat from when I, first played in that set all those years ago. He was just such a beast and sealed. Hellcow, I know you and I both have a lot of Hellcows. So seeing Hellcow is like, this is dope and awesome, especially with Dracula, which is really cool. The new Dracula we just got. Deadpool and Bob. Deadpool and Bob was always a piece that I wished was better. So I'm very excited that it's getting a legacy card. It was a 200-point piece out in Dom at the time. And then you had to do the sheep gun is hilarious, but you had to do power action to make a terrible bystander. So I'm really hoping maybe something like that, or just a lot of the Deadpool and Bobness of it is played up. And then like, dude, Weapon X. Dope sculpt, amazing sculpt. And now it's getting a legacy card, which is just so sick. So there's a ton of really good picks. Phantom X, he's a figure with a legacy. He's got the meta, whatever it's called. He was a hugely popular meta figure back when he was around. It was Eva, being able to shoot through Eva. Yeah. So there's good picks. Good picks. The only things I don't like are ones that I just didn't really play that much. I'm sure people like Professor X Magneto never really played that piece. I'm sure people are stoked for like Krakoa and Mystique. Missed me there, but for the most part, I really like these. I think the biggest whiff is no Merc with a mouth and no Deadpool from Web of Spider-Man. I think, and I get that it's a Deadpool set and we're already going to get a bunch of Deadpools, but I do think these are the Deadpools to make because they rock. Very iconic. We could have finally fixed the terrible keyword misprinting on what's it called on Deadpool Merc with a mouth. That'd have been really cool. And then Web of Spider-Man is just like such an iconic version of Deadpool. So
yeah, no, that one for sure.
Yeah. Any hoozle, let's talk about the vampiric bovine herself, old Bessie the Hellcow. Animal Monster. She done shaved off 20 points since we've seen her 7 years ago. So she got a little thinner. Not the best when you're about to go to market, but that's okay. She's hungry. She's ready to eat. Trait, Vampiric Bovine. She starts the game on click 6. It says, although I will say really quickly, the starting line does say click 5 on the printed card that was shown. The original Hellcow started on click 6. This text says 6. The card has a green starting line on 5. So maybe there'll be a clarification. Fingers crossed it starts on 5, because then she just starts straight up with +1 stats. And honestly, that looks like a more natural spot for a starting line anyways. So we'll have to see, but fingers crossed. Stealth, Steal Energy, and then when she uses Steal Energy, she can heal past her starting line. So for instance, we'll just say she starts on click 5. Her second, so let's do her defense power, I guess, first. So 3 clicks of her defense power, 5 through 7, is Mist Form, Stop, Smoke Cloud as free, but only to generate 1 marker. Friendly characters occupying terrain generated by Hellcow heal 1 additional click from Steal Energy and Support. This is really, really, really sick. So you have other vampires on your team. She can move up 8 squares or 7 squares or 10 squares or 9 squares, whatever, with Sidestep. Smoke Cloud is free. Place it next to somebody that your vampire, Dracula, whoever's going to charge up. Now they get a heal, an additional 1 from Steal Energy. And then she herself already has support on those clicks. I think that's like her milk or whatever it's called for her support originally. So then she is also just a really good medic for 30 points, letting people heal an additional 1. Her second trait is Herd Immortality. Hellcow modifies attack and defense +1 for each adjacent friendly character that shares a keyword with her. So if you're playing a horde of Hellcows and you're doing the herd mentality, the herd immortality, then they are all a 11 move, 13 attack, 20 defense. Sorry, it's not all stats. It's just defense and attack. So there'll be a 20 defense, though, when they're herded up, which is hilarious, and I really like that. So, I don't know. Hellcow's a really fun, flavorful piece. It's great. The only problem is going to be tracking down a bunch of these legacy cards to play with my Hellcow. So, yeah. I really like Hellcow. I think she's really fun. I can't wait to get a hold of her and start playing her. The Farmer Dracula build gets to come back. Farmer Dracula action is going to happen here.
We haven't seen all of the legacy cards, but I think that this is going to be the standout as like one of the biggest glow ups that we have.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know how they would improve on like some of the other things, but like this, if it was this when it dropped, I mean, even if it was still 50 points, but it just had like the smoke cloud, the +1 attacks and stuff, I would have played him way more often. I mean, I still played him a lot, but I would have played him way more often.
Because you would play Hellcow and you just be like, you kind of admit to yourself, there's no way I'm healing her to full. There's just like no way. She's so slow. It's hard to like get her up there. She's gonna get picked off. I think I only ever had 1 game, and I tried to play her a bunch where she even like healed up. I don't even think she ever got to full, but she healed up like far enough, like maybe like second to full, somewhere in there, where I was like, oh yeah, Hellcow's a beast. By the time like time was called. But now with this 30-point piece, I feel pretty confident healing instantly 2 the first time they can hit. If they can, get up there and be, 20 defense, take a turn of just not getting hit. And then next turn, 1 hits, heals instantly 2, goes to click 3. The next turn after that, it's only 2 attacks now. So instead of what it used to be, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it used to be 5 attacks to heal Hellcow all the way to full. Now it's 2 attacks using her Smoke Cloud. That's pretty gnarly. So a 30-point piece is basically in 2 attacks. A 10, 12, 19, 5. But actually that can be a 15, 22, 15 attacks on the defense with the Horde. Yeah, I think Hellcow is going to be a ton of fun. I really can't wait to get her.
And yeah, there's plenty of stuff that boosts monsters and animals already, so...
Oh yeah.
Easily slots onto a team.
Next thing we're going to talk about, last Saturday, the live stream WizKids did on their YouTube channel was, again, Scott Porter and the Muse doing their little Heroclix for Huntington's live stream before the event. It took them, I think it was like a 2-ish hour live stream. I think it took them like almost an hour into the live stream before we got to anything. I understand they had a really cool guy on with the Huntington's Disease Society of America talking about the charity. It's all well and good, keep people educated. I won't lie, but as a guy, I was like, all right, please show me something now, please. I grow weary, please. So really quickly, well, we can mention the Lucas Scott PJ bystander character. These guys won teams last year, and it was between this or make a map, and they all decided we'll be on a bystander. So ironically, Scott Crampton is now in the game twice. I never thought this day would happen. That's where I'll say it. They have podcaster, mystical warrior keywords. For range. They have sidestep. Sidestep toughness and power is already insane for 5 points. It just is. It's just actually insane for 5 points. And then they have a trait that doesn't work. Lucas, PJ, and Scott's and adjacent friendly characters' powers have protected pulse wave. But then this trait doesn't have protected pulse wave, so this trait just gets shut off. So playing competitively is the name of the trait. Not very well, I guess. Not playing competitively very well is what I'll say. It'll just need an errata. If so, let's just say it works as intended. Yeah, that's nuts. That's kind of insane. 5 point bystander that just gives your entire team adjacent characters protected pulse wave. Pretty dang nuts. But as it stands right now, it doesn't do anything. But it's still insane. I mean, for 5 points, getting sidestep and power, that's just great. It's like really, really, really good. I mean, on drop-off teams, I was paying 10 points for what's his face, the evil Injustice League ape guy, Grundy. No, Grundy's the man. Who's the ape? Whatever, the ape. He was 10 points, and Grodd. And he was in power. Like, I'd pay 10 points for Empower. So yeah, getting holy smokes, 5 point power is still really good. But that's the Lucas Scott PJ bystander. I don't want to talk about any of these figures. I'm not gonna lie. Brood, Cyclops, Calibok, this dude named Kanto, and then Parademon and Mantis and Steppenwolf. Jeez, they showed off a lot of figures. Those are all the figures they showed off. So Cyclops, Brood, very cool, very chill, X-Men related characters. Brood has a trait called Sleazoids. That's just hilarious. I just love that exists. People love Cyclops. He has a power called Zark. People are a big fan of that. Kalibak, Kanto, I really do like the way Kanto looks. He is hilarious. Kalibak, Kanto, Parademon, Mantis, and Steppenwolf are all Apocalypse people for Apocalypse shenanigans. Not going to get into any of their dials. They're pretty cool. People are a little worried about Parademon and Brood being generic con exclusives. So fingers crossed they're purchasables, because man, one thing I will mention about them, really chill, that Parademon is a goon. That's kind of cool that he's an expendable goon, but wow, this will be the most expensive expendable goon you can get your hands on. He has a great sculpt, though. Coming through the portal, looks really sick. Reminds me of that old Darkseid sculpt. 10 out of 10. Love the sculpt. For those that are big Apocalypse fans in the DC universe, this is your year for con exclusives. It's not my year, but that's okay. And then for all you sleazoids out there, it's your year as well for con exclusives.
Yeah. How do you feel about the generic con exclusives, or seemingly generic con exclusives? We don't know exactly if they're going to be buyables or what. They do have a con collector number, but
yeah, off rip, generic con exclusive seems a little scary. But also, as a person who at one point there were 60 Brainiac Lex Luthors in their house. Maybe it is okay if the pricing, if they're handed out a bunch. If they were like $10 buyables, I think I'm okay with it. Instead of like being $15 for a single piece, I would be okay with it like that.
Let me look up the.
But I feel like generics would be good for like the Bag-O series, where it's here's a bunch of stuff. Like how the Starro fights are like generics.
Their DC 23-100 is their number, and these are not that. These are 24-14. I feel like they'd probably follow closer to like the Starfight numbering pattern, or like the Spider-Man numbering pattern. So these are more likely like, I don't know, they technically could be a WKO or something. Not WKO, but I guess they could be that too. But I was thinking like an OLE kit or something.
If they do like a really big box, like Wonder Woman or Fantastic Thor's, but it's like the Apocalypse box, and it's each of the Apocalypse guys, but then also like maybe, I don't know, like 3 Parademons in there, that would be a pretty sick box. If that was like $70 or something, you get 3 Parademons, you get Kalibak, Mantis, Steppenwolf, Kanto, I don't know, that I would be like, that's pretty sick. That'd be a pretty cool deal. So, but I don't know. There's ways to do it. Maybe it's a 3-pack. Maybe when you buy a brood or something, if it was like $30 and you get 3 broods, $30 you get 3 parademons instead of just like a single. That would be kind of cool. I don't know. There's ways to do it where it like feels a lot easier to get. So we'll just have to end up seeing. But I do know that if you go to a convention, typically you walk away. Almost any convention, like nationals or worlds I've been to, when I'm actually playing, there's usually a day where, like, second to last day, you just see all of the convention exclusives you piled up in your hotel room. You take like a flex pick. That almost always happens. So for those that actually go to those events, it's pretty easy to stack up a bunch of extra convention exclusives. So we'll just have to see.
Yes.
But Simeon, do you want to talk about probably the coolest thing that was shown off on the live stream? And that is the first appearance Wolverine. We finally get to see what this does.
I'm going to pull this back up on Facebook because the art of the box, I think we had already seen the art of the box. But it is just a recreation of the first appearance Wolverine, featuring the Incredible Hulk. They very much stylized this to look a lot like the actual comic stuff. And then we get to see the cards. So it's Wolverine doing his jump with like some broken chains, Hulk swinging at him, Wendigo just being in the background like a weirdo. But they're all in like the right poses and everything, which is already really cool. Wolverine has Weapon X, Animal, Assassin, Brute, and Soldier keywords. If you haven't seen these cards, go online and look them up real quick, because these are some of the like coolest stylized iconic cards that we've seen. Then in big bold text it says, trait, moving is the thing I do best, and it has a little star, and it says, regeneration super senses. When Wolverine uses either after resolutions, you may place him a number of squares away from his current square equal to the D6 result. And like the R is capitalized in like big squared font with like a red on regeneration. So like it's all very comic book, like it got pulled out of these pages. Wolverine is a stout 70 points for 9 clicks long, or 45 points for 4 clicks long, starting on click 6. No matter where he starts, though, he starts with a special speed power that is Wolverine is coming through, Charge Flurry. When Wolverine moves or is placed after resolutions, he may knock back an adjacent character. Solid. And then he has a special attack power, his first 3 clicks, and his last 2 clicks. That is, yes, Hulk, I see how strong you are. Blades, Claws, Fangs. When Wolverine uses it, he may choose a terrain marker equipped to or held by a hit character. If he does, after resolutions, Wolverine may take a close terrain action as free, as if he held the chosen terrain marker. So he could charge, flurry, blades, and I guess he could do this twice? He blades on both attacks. They would only have one marker that's equipped to him, I guess, or that they're holding. But yeah, you could charge, flurry, get potentially 3 attacks. He has exploit weakness, his entire dial. Combat reflexes, his entire dial. Again, traded regeneration and super senses. Clicks 4 through 7, where he doesn't have that special blades power. He has precision strike, but I think whether you're playing him at 45 for the charge, flurry, exploit, or if you're playing him at top dial for that blades triple potential attack, it's a really fun piece. I think it's pretty well done. I don't know. I really want to see how well. I know it'll, because of the exploit, I know it'll tear through Wendigo pretty quick. I wonder how well it'll do against Hulk, though.
I'm curious, too. Yeah, Hulk has just insane top clicks, dude. And then also just invincible.
Yeah. I think
So-
that's the crazy
Wolverine's
part.
got to just...
Full dial invincible.
he got to hit some big boy blades here. Yeah, Wolverine's got to hit some insane blades in order to actually like get the Hulkster down. I can chat about Hulk a little bit here, just so we can go 1-1. I love the trait crashing into Canada, just wrecking Avengers Brute Monster. Was Hulk an Avenger at this point in time? He was at he quit the Avengers at this point?
So this was when he went on like the lam. He had been an Avenger, but because they reprinted this a couple months back, and I just picked it up.
Yeah.
And so he had been an Avenger at this point, And then like he was basically on the lam. Like he wasn't like outed from like the Avengers, but he was like off doing his own thing for quite a while. They kept doing like Monster of the Week episodes. So the one before this is Hulk versus Wendigo, and then Wolverine comes in like after that issue where like Hulk and Wendigo are still fighting.
Gotcha. So Hulk has his crashing into Canada trait here. So first off, 95 points or 45 points. You'll kind of notice when we get to Wendigo, but Hulk's got some gnarly stop clicks here. He's 2 bolts here. He has no movement attack. Just wait. Just hold on. Just wait. It's full dial of like leap climb until he gets to his stop clicks. So his dial is like leap climb, special attack, invincible, full dial of Battle Fury. Then when he hits stop, he goes flurry, quake, stop, Battle Fury, flurry, quake, stop, Battle Fury. And his stop clicks are on clicks 4, 7, and 9. 9 being his last. When Hulk is given a move action, after resolutions, you destroy all non-debris terrain markers in 3 squares, then you get to make an attack. So full speed, make an attack, 8 squares, move, destroy a bunch of stuff, then make an attack. Kind of like what's the old ability that the AI giants all had?
Mass destruction.
Yeah, mass destruction.
That like trait.
His special attack power, which he starts with on both lines, is Hulk can throw whole forest, super strength, / when Hulk takes a close or range terrain action. After resolutions, he may generate and pick up an object. So he's constantly ripping up the ground, grabbing stuff. He's always got an object. He's doing at least an extra 1 damage no matter what. Hulk's hitting you hard. His stop clicks are, of course, stop. So Wendigo can't hurt Hulk with just 1 tree. I guess it takes at least 3 or so trees. Stop, impervious. When Hulk uses it, if the attacker is equipped or holding a terrain marker, increase the result of the roll by +2, which is kind of nuts. Thankfully, this does not reduce penetrating damage, but still, getting a 3 through 6 impervious, so good. So good with how many people are equipped / maybe holding a marker at this point in the game. I feel like at this point in the game, maybe you're not holding a marker because you've already hit Hulk for some. Usually you open with them, but still, an equipped character, really good. Really, really, really good.
No, I really like it. The only thing I guess like the leap climb makes sense because he's like crashing and leaping into Canada, whatever. I wish he had like alternated between flurry a little bit more, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
He has it 3 clicks and it's just his stop clicks, which is much better than the speed power Wendigo has. So Wendigo's stop clicks, I'll get into, I guess, his trait and stuff first. I'll go in order, but on his stop clicks, he has Earthbound Neutralize, which is the first time we've seen that in quite a while. So Wendigo has Animal, Brute, Monster, and Mystical keywords. He has trait Curse of the Wendigo. At the beginning of the game, generate a Mary Cartier bystander. When Wendigo is KO'd, choose a friendly character. This game, that character can use Steel Energy and modifies their combat values +1, which is really good, especially since he has a 45-point line where you can do this. Similar to the Hulk's dial, it's almost the exact same length. Well, it is the exact same length and almost the same stats. Wendigo has a 95-point line that starts on click 1 or a 45-point line that starts on click 6. If you start him on his 95-point line, you have 2 clicks of a special speed power that is Wendigo. Hypersonic speed. When Wendigo uses it, instead of making an attack, he may take a close terrain action as free. So he can hypersonic 8 squares and then wreck somebody with, a giant piece of terrain. He's also giant on his top click. He's got a 12 attack for 4 with super strength and Battle Fury. Battle Fury is whole dial. 19 with impervious. So he's removing a lot of action tokens with that that giant willpower roll. And then at the 45-point line, he has regular hypersonic with blades and still has Battle Fury, but instead he has a 17 with toughness instead of that 19 impervious. But he still gets to use his trait, so you could play like 2 at 45. When one gets KO'd, the other one gets Steel Energy and +1 stats. You also get that Mary Cartier bystander, which is 5 range, triple lightning bolt, 5 speed stealth, 10 attack, incapacitate, and 1 damage with support, and then just a blank 15 defense. Wendigo's stop clicks on 4, 7, and 9 are stop invulnerability. The first time this click is revealed after resolutions, give all characters within 2 squares of either Wendigo or Mary Cartier an action token. and that includes Wendigo and Mary Cartier. They're within 2 squares of each other, so that'll include them whenever those action tokens go out. But Wendigo should have an easier time to get rid of them with that giant-sized willpower. It's kind of a way to like lock a team down. You can hit him to a stop click, but maybe not KO him. I don't know. I guess the only other interesting thing that I think is kind of a little wacky about him is he does have a bystander that can support him back up, but he doesn't himself get steal energy at any point. He gives it to somebody.
Oh.
But like, yeah, he does not have any way to heal other than that bystander.
You're right.
Unless you play 2. And then one can give the other that trait.
Huh. That is kind of interesting. The curse of the Wendigo giving someone steal energy, but then not act. Huh. I didn't even think about that when I first saw this figure. That is kind of funny. You're a silly little guy, Wendigo. Yeah, this might win for goofiest sculpt of the year.
Yeah,
I won't lie. That
heavily
face
goofy.
is very
it's comic
Muppety.
accurate, but
Is it?
heavily-
Is it? All
yeah,
right.
heavily goofy for sure.
Yeah, it's something. It's something else. But man, a pretty sweet first appearance set, and these are going to be part of prizing and auctions for Heroclix for Huntingtons, which is pretty dang sweet. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen. But that is pretty much all the news we have this week. There's nothing else. It was a heavy news week, though. We have an entire brick of Weapon X, Deadpool Weapon X unboxed. Go to HC Units, check that out if you want to see all those figures, as well as check out the videos on the WizKids YouTube channel. Fingers crossed, maybe a Dial H Deadpool Weapon X unboxing will be coming your way hopefully soon. But I would also understand if it is closer to the actual, release date. Not quite as early as Scott Porter, but maybe, you never know if we get a chance at one. Fingers crossed. But let's go ahead and jump into some listener questions.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
We have quite a few listener questions. So let's jump into these bad boys and start ripping. The Megget asks, aka one of the hosts of Heroclix Syndicate. That's right. Go check out the Heroclix Syndicate podcast now on YouTube. And also, I guess, while I'm plugging, join the Dial H for Heroclix Patreon. If you do, all the money goes straight to the show, making the show better, doing all sorts of cool stuff, as well as making really cool action tokens and things to send out to patrons, as well as you get this awesome Discord and behind-the-scenes look at videos and whatnot. So think about joining the Dial H for Heroclix podcast on Patreon. The Megget asks, should they make it so crits knockback damage is also increased? No. I don't think that's necessary. I think crits deal enough damage, because then you get pulse waved for 1, 2, 3, 4. Then if you crit a pulse wave, that doesn't feel good. Already doesn't feel good. I don't think we need to make crits knockback damage also increased.
No.
Yeah. We Are Here asks, this one has probably been asked before, but what other IPs would you want to see WizKids make sets for? Simeon, you can go ahead and jump into this one. We have answered this before, but it's never a question that I get tired of theorizing and hoping for and everything.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about like a lot of different video games and stuff. We're getting like that Fallout TV series.
Yeah,
that's coming out. I think that's a great line of things. I mean, there's already a Fallout miniatures game, but I do think that would be a great line of Heroclix that we could do. There's so much to delve into there. Really, like, if you're a big enough fan of anything, there's a lot of characters that you could pick. I've been revisiting some of my favorite comics that are in, like, Image Comics and indie comics and stuff. So, Saga, there's a lot of characters in Saga. There's a lot of, like, things that could be generics. There's just super cool flavor and stuff that you could add to a set like that. So that's one of my top like things. Would I want it in Heroclix? Yeah, because then I can get sculpts. I don't necessarily want to to have a pacifist Marco that has sworn an oath not to pull his sword or whatever. But I would love to have like the sculpts. I would love to collect the set of them. And whether that's like an Iconics or whatever, it would just be a really cool IP. But yeah, I mean, you could always just ramble. I could ramble forever. So
yeah.
I'll leave it with those two, Fallout and Saga.
Perfect. I kind of figured Saga was always like guaranteed. Every time we get this question, like Simeon's gonna go with Saga. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Whenever
much like-
someone's like, I swear, every time someone says, "Oh, what's one of your favorite comics?" There's a half second where I have to think about it, and then I'm like, "Oh, duh."
Yeah.
It's literally like one of my favorite of all time. Like, and I feel like most people will enjoy it when they try it. So I always refer that to people as far as something to try that's not Marvel or DC.
100%. Mine, if you listen to the podcast before, you know exactly what I'm going to say. I'm going to say Evil Dead. It is my all-time favorite property outside of like Captain America, Marvel stuff. I love Evil Dead. I love the movies. I think between the TV show, between the first 3 movies, you can easily make a gravity feed set at least, or a you could do a booster set, maybe like a 50, 60 character, very low set list booster set, but you can do generic Deadites, skeletons, lots of different generic Deadites actually. Of course, several different versions of Ash Williams. There's a ton of different demons they fight that you could make versions of. All the fellow survivors and people that are in there throughout Evil Dead, I think would be great. Evil Dead's just all-time favorite property, and there's like literally no other IP that I want in this game half as much as I want like Evil Dead in this game. I would kill. I would borderline almost kill to have like Evil Dead Heroclix be real. At the very least, iconic sets of like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness would be so sick. Oh my gosh. And then the second property, which I don't think would translate that well to HeroClix, but it is my favorite video game of all time, would be like Team Fortress 2. I would love to have in HeroClix, just for no other reason than like, yeah, kind of getting little miniatures of them. And also just we get very few Team Fortress 2 anything nowadays because it's old. And I would just love to see that in Clix, like 100%. Very fun characters. Probably my 2 favorite properties that are outside of like the superhero realm of stuff. Mr. Bozomancer asks, what is your ideal location for Worlds? And then he says it's up to you to interpret what ideal is.
Man, I have a hard time saying not Graceland.
No.
Because of like how comfortable it's become and like how well done they have done each year.
I 100% agree. Like, it's really hard to imagine it anywhere but at Graceland because it has just been a phenomenal time every single year. There's kind of something fun about like HeroClix and Elvis.
Venue, and also exclusive to WizKids. Every World, there hasn't been trying to work around like other events and stuff. It's always like, I don't want to say HeroClix because it's not just HeroClix, but it's always WizKids. So that's one of like the best parts for me. You'd have to find something comparable in size and also where WizKids could shut like the whole place, or not necessarily shut the whole place down, but block off like, those 3 massive rooms again.
No, absolutely. I'm trying to think, is there any other area that I really do like Indianapolis as like for Gen Con, so maybe I wouldn't hate it if it were in Indianapolis. I don't think I would, because that downtown is pretty easy to get around. Yeah. Ironically, as much as I like Denver and their convention center they have, it's not as easy of a downtown to get around, so I don't know if I'd want it to be necessarily in like Denver or anything.
Yeah, I've gone to like Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City, so like that venue would be terrible. It's the problem with that venue is there's like no food nearby. You have to actually like leave the area. You can't just like walk over somewhere. At least not to I don't remember doing that. So, right. But yeah, I'd be fine with any place that's like more easily drivable, I guess. But also we'd want like an international airport, and I would say Omaha, but Omaha isn't an international airport, so yeah, I would want it to be easiest for people to get into, and sadly Omaha is not that yet. Supposedly,
yeah, sadly,
we're gonna be there someday, but
the what's it called? Someone sent us to this like forever ago, where there's is it in Washington or something, where it's like this park that is both equally Canada and America or whatever. Isn't there something silly like that? I can't remember what it was, but somebody sent us a link to some park / event center that was both like Canada and America mixed or something like that. I'm like, that would be kind of a cool place to host Worlds. I don't even know if it has like the event space necessary
An actual
for a world.
international
Location. But like that would actually be really cool. Yeah, straight up, it is international. It's two different. Like that would be kind of neat. Or we just hold Worlds in Greece every year, like how the Olympics should hold the Olympics. And that's where we hold Worlds and make it inconvenient for everyone to get to. And then maybe 100 people show, maybe 50 people show up. Yeah, that's what we should really do. No, it's really hard to like choose anywhere but Graceland, because even being like, yeah, I would like it to be more convenient for me. I'm like, nah, I like Graceland. It's just I don't know. It's the home for Worlds. I've really grown on it.
I agree. I think it'd be hard to top at this point.
Yeah. Next question, Alex the Enchanter asks, was Hellcow the legacy card Calder and Friends? And Friends are Matt Reed and Spencer White. Got to make for last year's Heroclix for Huntingtons? If yes, terrific job. Gonna need like 10 of those. It was not the figure that we chose for our legacy card. And fun fact, Scott Porter also it's still unannounced. Last year, he showed off the Iron Man figure that Dan Powell had chosen to get made into a legacy card. But this year, I don't know for what reason why, but was not able to either show off or talk about or mention our figure that we made. So honestly, kind of even maybe a little selfishly here, fingers crossed that since he wasn't able to talk about it, it would be really cool for Dial H to be able to talk and cover it, maybe on a podcast with Matt Reed, Spencer, and myself, or like a little video showcasing the figure. I think that would personally be really fun. But no, we did not choose Hellcow, but I do love Hellcow, Alex.
Yeah. We'll happily take it.
Yeah, 100, yeah.
Yeah.
Parallel Universe Calder asks, aka I think it's just Chance, cool idea I had for a segment / question is Heroclix help. If you could modify Super Rare Blade from Wheels of Vengeance, what would you change on him? And this should be somewhat realistic. You can't say just make him 10 points less. Okay, so fun idea Chance has is to change a figure. So how would I make really cool sliding blade better? Yeah, I think I probably would make him 10 points less. Now that you say that now, I won't do that. But I mean, for 90 points, it'd be better if he was like 75, you know?
I think the dupe on a bike treatment where you can slide through people, blades them up.
Ooh.
Like I always loved that. The ram, but roll blades to deal
that
with.
That one was so sick. Yeah. And then dupe took just an insane amount of damage. Dude, those dupes were so fun to play. I love playing those.
Ooh, if Blade like could do that, but then he also had like steel energy for it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't just die. Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, if all the special defense powers were stop clicks, he probably would be like a really, really, really stout 90 points right there. The dude just has 4 stop clicks back to back. That's, I don't know, keep his point value the exact same. Maybe that's what I would change about Blade. But even then, we had a player, I think Isaac Dinky played him at a few like modern events and did well. Can't fully remember, but I remember seeing Isaac play this Blade at, I believe, 60 points. And then I think he even had that Hulk that people usually give to Capwolf. He had that Hulk on Blade. So that way, like, Blade's a pain in the butt to deal with, and then boom, here's Hulk. So, you know, people have played him. But yeah, I would probably say if you made all those stop clicks, which maybe that's unrealistic, yeah, he'd be really good.
I agree. Yeah. Or give him the dupe power, whatever that was.
Yes, Ram, just the super Ram. Yeah, that would be dope. I could see him driving by, stab vampire, and be sick. Wesley R asks, in your opinion, is the Iconics line big enough and balanced enough to make its own event? Like Pulp Theme or Silver, could we see an Iconics only event? Straight up no. Like 100% no, Iconics is not balanced enough. It's just Kong. It'd just be Kong. There's no way we could do a Iconics are only legal and expect it to be anything but just teams of Kong, right? I don't think I'm out of pocket for saying that.
Yeah,
I think
even I was gonna say even if like Highlander was in like effect, you could just play a Kong at top dial, and that'd be a very hard team to deal with.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, 100%. You just play Kong at like, what is that? Does he have a 300-point line? He has a 200-point line.
Is it not? I thought I could have swore he had he's got 500, 300, 200.
Oh, he does have 300. Yeah, just
Yeah.
play Kong 300 points. I don't know what else is
13
killing the guy
with a 20 defense, 5 damage, and almost always, unless he's going against another Kong, almost always being able to take 2 actions a turn.
Because even Doomsday's not beating Kong. Not with the impervious rolls. Not with getting stomped on. Kong's like, yeah, sure, I'll play against Doomsday and only
Plus,
deal 1 damage at a time. Who cares?
You have to get Kong through 3 stop clicks that are impervious, regen is free, but if he has 2 action tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not beating Kong. You're not beating a 300-point Kong in an Iconics. Yeah, I love Iconics, but yeah, we need a lot more in order to... I guess that Sherlock is the next best thing that's against Kong, right? Because Sherlock can outwit protected stuff, I want to say. In a minute since I looked at Sherlock. Holmes, smart Sherlock, friendly character station has detected keyword. Yeah, opposing characters can't use safeguard, outwit, or protected outwit. So yeah, he would be... So you'd like... Then, so like, I think your meta for an Iconics thing is just instantly Kong or then an anti-Kong Sherlock team.
Oh, yeah.
And then at that point, it's like you pray that Kong does not murder Sherlock right away.
Yeah, that first attack doesn't go
You're
out.
really hoping that the shape change super senses really well, I guess it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, no shape change.
Super senses. You're praying those super senses hit, man, because Kong will annihilate Sherlock. Yeah, I love Iconics, but we need a lot more to be released and a lot more to be Kong level good in order to say Iconics only event. Because right now, Kong is just owning the field. He's that. I mean, what can I say? He's bananas.
But
Anyways, Tyler M asks, with the heavy apocalypse theme in the convention exclusives, what are the odds of a dark side in Masters of Time? I feel like either a con exclusive dark side or Masters of Time dark side is like guaranteed, no? With this many apocalypse people? I feel like you gotta get a dark side somehow.
There's no apocalypse people the way he spelled it.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah. There are no apocalypse.
Need APOKOLIPS apocalypse. This is what we got. You spelled it correctly, Tyler. Odds of dark side in Masters of Time. Honestly, probably as a convention exclusive too. Maybe I guess. Yeah. I didn't listen. Did Scott say those were like all the ones from this year? Or?
I believe he said they were all going to be this year. Those aren't all the convention exclusives we're getting, though. If you look at the point or the numbering gaps, there's quite a few different ones. It looks like DC goes up to 19, and then I think Cyclops was like 11 or something. So there's some gaps in the numbering here. There's more room for random convention exclusives. So Darkseid could just also be a convention LE.
Yeah, I would feel really weird if he was in Masters of Time, but not a convention exclusive with like all the generals and stuff.
Yeah,
it feels like a weird thing to leave out.
I would think so,
but I mean, maybe. I guess we've seen that before, so it's not that crazy that somebody could be missing.
True. Tyler M. then goes on to ask, now that Hellcow has a legacy card, is Simeon actually billion clicks bruised?
No. I don't honestly, this was another thing we talked about at the beginning of the show. I at one point know I had 6 Hellcows because I ran a team of 6 Hellcows and Barbados for 400 points. I don't know if I still have 6, but that was, even if I did, that was like the most I had at one point. So I've seen people looking for like $45 for them. I feel like that's probably where it's going to cap at. I don't think, maybe if someone like finds a way to break them and just like make like them really ramp up really crazy, then they'll shoot up in price. But no, I think they'll sit around like the 45, like the normal legacy kind of range. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to even sell any because I'll let the bank lend me money based on the value of them. That's what I'll do.
Oh, no, gosh.
No, I'd like to play with 6 of them. I'll proxy like the quote-unquote legacy cards. I'll get one, and then I'll play with all 6 of them with that one card. That's what I'll do.
I am trying to... Let's see. So I do think this makes Hellcow the most expensive cow on the planet, technically, because I want to say if she's going for 40 to $50
For point.
what's the average per pound? Yeah, so for 0.2 ounces. So it looked like I wanted to find a better per pound on Google, but I think we sold calves last year at like $7 to $8 a pound, something like that. I think is what calves went for last year. So if you consider Hellcows like 2 ounces, then per pound, Hellcow is like the most expensive cow like ever, without doing any research, with just guessing. Which is pretty cool for I don't know. That's pretty funny. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Our last question here, Chance says, Parallel Universe Calder, instead of a full set, you could make an Iconics of Fallout. What characters would you include, and which ones? What would each gimmick be? So, for my limited knowledge of Fallout, the characters I think are the coolest, and that's only because this is from secondarily watching my brother play, and then memes online. For Iconics for Fallout, I think the Sentinel of Liberty, what's it called? The big Liberty robot, Freedom bot that throws the nukes.
Not Prime. I want to say
Liberty Prime. Yeah, Liberty Prime. That one. That one's got to be a colossal. That would be sick. And then the Mechanist and the Ant Lady.
Oh yeah,
I would like
the
them
antagonist and the Mechanist.
Antagonist. There we go. Yeah, the antagonist, who maybe she makes giant ants. Mechanist has some robots. Those are what I would want as Iconics, because I think those are really cool.
Yeah. I think some like Brotherhood of Steel dudes. Those are obviously some like the most iconic things from Fallout for me. And I think most people, that's like that power armor is what you picture. The Enclave like power armor is also like really cool. The Master, I think, was the villain's name in like Fallout 1 or 2. And then and you have like the protagonist, like the Lone Wanderer or whatever. It'd be weird to sculpt them because they're individual to like each player. So no two should quite look the same, but no, there's a lot of interesting characters. The military drone butler robot things, whatever those are called, and like the sentry robots, those are always really like crazy. And then like Deathclaws, like I think Deathclaw should just be the XDPS Wendigo. Like maybe without the healing, 100%. But just like insane death machine thing.
I 100% agree. I know the Wendigo is not Wendigo, but the Deathclaw is just a terrifying beast of the wasteland. So yeah, I'd be all for something like that. And then that brings us to a close, ladies and gentlemen. That is all the questions we have for you over on the Discord.
Yeah. If you want to pre-order some of these things, well, there's places you can do that. Whether it's the Wolverine first appearance Iconics, or it's some of this Deadpool Weapon X set, which they'll have singles as well over at coolstuffinc.com. But you can also pre-order a couple cases. We didn't even get to talk about like the crazy Phoenix chase that they pulled. But I think this is going to be one of the sets where I really want to get as many of the legacy cards as possible, and also quite a few of the characters from it. So I know I'm going to go to coolstuffinc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. And when you use code DIAL5, you'll save 5% off your order. Or you can go direct to the source at shop.whizkids.com. I'm not sure what they're running right now for sale, but I know they had the hatchling we talked about. They had the if you pre-order, you get an extra super booster dinosaur. There's a lot of really cool things going on at shop.whizkids.com, and some things that are exclusive to that website only. And when you use code DIALH10, you can potentially save 10% off, as long as it's not a pre-order Iconics or a specialty figure. So just don't go in assuming that it'll be 10% off, but it might be. It might be 10% off.
Fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we got for you this week. Make sure to stay tuned, though. Make sure you're following the podcast everywhere Podcast can be followed. Make sure to leave us a review if you want to. We'd really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe to the Dial H for Heroclix YouTube channel for all our latest videos, unboxings, and more. So, like always, happy trails.
So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional
Heroclix.
help.
Not going there.
That's how numbers work. Over
Okay, yeah,
6
over
people
6.
think I am funny.
I'm your Captain America.
That was just you in a costume. Well, the rest of this case doesn't matter.